Here, in the dry breath of West Texas, time doesn't move. It waits. The land is wide, but not free. Its silence is like a loaded gun. There are no city sirens, no voices in the distance. Only the wind, the dust, and the weight of something ancient watching from the horizon. This is not a place that forgives mistakes. Here, even a single decision can echo like a gunshot, rippling for miles. And so it begins, not with action, not with violence, but with stillness. And in that stillness, something is coming. Something cold, calculated, merciless. Llewellyn Moss is a man of simple facts. He knows the desert. He knows how to track, how to hunt, how to survive. But what he doesn't know is that survival isn't always about skill. Sometimes, it's about knowing when to turn your back. When he finds traces of a drug deal gone wrong, bodies dumped on top of trucks, bullet holes in the steel, blood drying in the dirt, he doesn't panic. He investigates. And when he finds the bag, he takes it. $2 million. Just standing there. Maybe he thinks he can outsmart whatever demon left it behind. Maybe he thinks he's not a greedy man, just a practical man. But in this world, it doesn't matter what you intended to do, only what you did. He takes the money, and then the clock starts ticking. He doesn't say much, and when he does, his voice is soft, almost gentle, but there's nothing human behind his eyes. Anton Chigurh isn't a villain in the conventional sense. He's not after money. He doesn't revel in power. He's something else entirely. The embodiment of inevitability. He enters scenes of chaos like a shadow wearing a shoe. He decides life or death not with anger, but with a coin, heads or tails. For him, it's not random. It relieves him of the burden of choice, at least in his mind. And when he flips that coin, you don't know which is worse, that he might kill you, or that he might think he has no choice. A dusty gas station on the side of the road. An old man behind the counter. Just an ordinary day. Just an ordinary customer. Or so he thinks. Then Chigurh enters. The conversation starts out simple. Small talk, casual questions. But there's a shift, a hidden darkness. The man doesn't realize it at first, but his life hangs by a thread woven from Chigurh's whims. And then, the coin. Name it. He doesn't understand. But it doesn't matter. The rules are not his to question. No negotiation. No logic. Just the coin, and the judgment that comes with it. The brilliance of the scene lies in its restraint. No violence. No blood. But the tension, unbearable, because we, the audience, know what the man doesn't. That behind Chigurh's impassive face is a deadly force, waiting for a reason to act. Ed Tom Bell has seen too much. He carries the past like an old coat, worn, but never discarded. He believes in law, order, and decency. But he also knows that belief is beginning to falter as he investigates the murders and mayhem Chigurh has left behind. He is pursuing something he doesn't understand, a kind of violence that doesn't play by the rules. He's not only losing control of the case, but he's losing his place in the world. He begins to wonder, am I too old for this? Or has the world become too brutal for me? Llewellyn tries to stay ahead. He changes his hotel. He buys new weapons. He sends his wife away, hoping to protect her from what's coming. But deep down, he realizes, this isn't just a chase. Every move he makes is smart, but not smart enough. Every attempt to hide delays the inevitable. Chigurh walks, not fast, not panicked, just steadily, as if the future itself is following Llewellyn. And no matter how much he runs, he's just buying time. In another film, Moss might win, but this is no country for old men. Most films give you clues. The music mounts. The tension builds. You know when something bad is about to happen. But not here. In no country for old men, the violence arrives without ceremony. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't wait for your permission. It happens suddenly. A door opens, a light flickers, and suddenly, blood splatters on the wall. No music, no cue to prepare you. Just the raw, cold sound of death. It's shocking, not because it's graphic, but because it's real. This isn't violence for entertainment. By stripping away the usual cinematic tricks, the Coen brothers force us to confront violence in its purest form. Not as spectacle, but as interrupted silence. And then, Llewellyn dies. No final confrontation. No redemption. No cinematic goodbye. We don't even see it. We only hear about it after it happens. It's almost disrespectful. But that's the point. This isn't a story where endings come to an end for the heroes. This is a world where choices are more powerful than outcomes, and where death doesn't wait for the camera to roll. By killing Moss off screen, the film tells us something harsh and honest. It doesn't matter how close you were to escaping. It doesn't matter how hard you fought. But in Chigurh's eyes, it doesn't matter. Moss promised he'd come for her. And Chigurh, unlike most men, keeps his promises. He arrives, cold, and he performs the same ritual. Name her, but Carla Jean refuses. The coin has no say. You alone decide. At that moment, she breaks his illusion. She stares at the truth, that he has chosen, and that he is hiding behind the coin. But she also knows, breaking his illusion won't save her. And what about Chigurh? He checks his boots for any traces of blood, and walks away. Because to him, it was never personal, just inevitable. Sheriff Bell sits at the breakfast table. He's retired now, not because he failed to catch Chigurh, but because he no longer understands the world he's supposed to protect. Then, he recounts a dream. In it, he and his father are riding across a snow-covered mountain pass. In front of him, his father is holding a fire, wrapped in a horn, glowing softly in the cold. He said, "I knew he would come forward." He was preparing to light a fire outside in all this darkness and cold. And I knew that when I arrived, he would be there. Then I woke up. This dream is everything. It's about legacy. It's about protection. It's about desperate hope. Even in a world sliding into chaos, there is someone who holds the light. Bill didn't wake up clearly. He woke up alone, unsure if that fire was still burning. The Coen brothers don't hold your hand. They don't tell you what to think. They don't offer solutions. Instead, they use space, silence, stillness. They let the desert speak louder than dialogue. They allow the eyes to express what the lips cannot. Roger Deakins' photography doesn't add beauty to the scene. It captures its indifference. A beauty that doesn't care if you live or die. The camera doesn't chase emotions. It observes them from a distance. And through that distance, the film achieves a rare feat. It respects the audience. It trusts us to feel what we're supposed to feel, without being told. Why does this film endure? Because it doesn't end. It simply stops and leaves us with questions that resonate. What do we do when justice has no power? The title isn't just poetic. It's a warning. This is not a country for old people. Not a country for order. Not a country for justice. The world has changed. The question isn't whether we can stop it. It's whether we can live in it. This wasn't just a film. It was a meditation. A slow-burn portrait of decay, fate, and powerlessness. And yet, it's beautiful. Not because it gives us hope, but because it dares to reveal the truth. You've been watching Musawa TV, where we don't just watch movies, we listen to what they really have to say. See you next time.